Hi there, good evening, and a very warm welcome to the stream. This is brand new. This is Love Audio Production, and my name is Paul Webber. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on the live stream here on YouTube. Excuse me, hang on. Shh, shh. You see, it's live. Definitely live. I'll be watching that for the comments, of course. But anyway, what I was going to say was thank you so much for joining me. Today is all about our first video, looking at audio production and diving straight into your DAW. I'm particularly using the PreSonus Studio One Series 4.6, I think they're up to now, and the professional version of that as well. I did have the artist version, which was excellent, absolutely brilliant, lasted me for a while, but I thought, no, you know what, I'm going to upgrade. And the main reason for doing so was that the professional version accepts outside VST plugins, whereas if you use the artist or the free version, that's going to use the stock plugins that come with the software itself. And there are loads and loads of those to use as well, by the way, so don't think you're limited by not having the external VSTs. But as I say, the professional version, if you do upgrade, you will get those extra ones as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is dive straight in. We're going to have a look at the software itself from start to finish. So if I just pop up the software here right now, it's Studio One. I haven't got my keyboard plugged in, so it's going to tell me that that isn't particularly plugged in at the moment, and that's fine. So yeah, your MIDI connection does change. Do you want to reconnect? Not right now, which is cool. It tells the computer that the audio device is Studio Live Series 3, and I'm using the Studio Live 32SC mixing desk, the professional digital mixing system. Okay, so here we are. This is what it looks like with a brand new song, not even started anything. So let's get rid of the browser for now. I'll give you more about that detail in a moment or two, but initially what we must do is to set up the ins and outs. Let's get some tracks in here first, okay? So we're going to load some tracks. Let's load, let me think here, a couple of mono tracks for the vocals. So load some more tracks there for a vocal. And we want to load a stereo track for any music that we drag in, particularly to play in that section there. Might give a couple of those, to be quite honest, because I'm going to drop some samples in there in a moment or two just to give you an idea, okay? So that should be fine. Now what I need to do is to go into the ins and outs. Now my desk mic is the one I'm talking to you on now, and I know for a fact it's not on number 3. It's definitely on channel 2, and I know that my booth mic, my voiceover microphone in the voiceover booth, is on channel 9. So I'm going to whiz across there to channel 9 and click there. And on the outputs, I'm not playing through 17 and 18. Now, if you use this particular software, you'll find that it defaults to 17 and 18 for some strange, bizarre reason. It's a Windows thing, I think. But the good thing about it is you can change that. So I'm going to have my audio from the desk, from the software coming through channel 3 and 4 on the desk itself, okay? And then once I've done all of that, I click Apply, and I click OK. So now on the desk mic, if I arm the audio there, you should, with any luck, desk mic channel 2 should be there right now. Should be getting me coming through there. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just sort this out for a sec. Inputs channel 2. Yeah, it's coming up there, you see, on desk mic. And then on the outputs, I don't have to touch that anyway, so that's absolutely fine. And 3 and 4 is the only one I'm dealing with currently, okay? So that is absolutely fine as I see it there. So I'm going to arm this. There we go. So we've got our desk mic armed for track 1. So let's just literally press record. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. And because I've got a gate on the microphone, you don't hear any background noise or anything like that, which is really cool. So that's fine. Let's play that back. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. Okay, how cool is that? So what we're going to do now is I'm just literally tidying up the bits and pieces here, and I've currently got the tool here, which is the knife tool, the split tool, set to snap to the graph here, which I don't really need. I want to be able to freelance and move that around. So that's what I've just done, taken those two off there. You see that? So that will snap to the item, and that will snap to grid. Take both of those off, and you can then move around anywhere you want in the file. Split it. Go back to the arrow. Move that down if you want to. Move it around. Whatever you want to do. I'm actually going to get rid of that, and then move that one to the front. Bring this one up underneath as it was in the right place, just there, and then get rid of that as well. That should sound like so. We rewind that. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. All right, so there's a bit of a the software PreSonus Studio One. There we go. So I'm going to delete that end bit because we don't need that, and that's fine for track 1. Just a test, as I say, we're just going to go through these basics really from start to finish, so you can get an idea of how this PreSonus Studio One software looks and how it reacts and everything like that. Okay, going to bring up the mixer, which is quite cool. And what we're going to do now is on track 2, let's disarm that, rearm that. I'm going to mute that as well. And right at the end here, I'm just going to say the words, "Welcome to YouTube." Just for a bit of a laugh, okay? So again, we can tidy that up using the scissor tool there, or the kind of blade there, the Stanley knife. Back in the old days, of course, what we used to do was reel-to-reel tape machines, and the reel of tape. If you wanted to make any edits, you'd use a Chinograph pencil to mark where you needed to do that edit, and then you use a small razor blade to cut the actual tape. And then the piece of tape that you remove, just in case you wanted it again, you'd put around your neck, and then join the 2 bits of tape up with some sticky tape, some white tape it was, and then you'd run that back again to make sure the edit was okay. If it wasn't, you've still got the bit around your neck to be able to put back in. Similarly, because we've deleted this space either side, right? We have done now. Boom, boom. If I wanted to undo that, luckily I haven't got a piece of tape around my neck anymore. I've got the undo button on the computer, so I can bring those 2 bits of tape, if you will, back in. And also I can undo the edit as well. Okay? Both of those edits. If I thought, oh my gosh, I really didn't want to take that bit out, I can redo it and it's absolutely fine. Thank goodness for redo and undo, yeah? So we'll do that again. So we'll take those 2 out. We'll literally just get rid of those front and back things there, and we'll tidy up that, bring that to the front of there. So it now says, "Welcome to YouTube." Just a bit of fun, as I said before. So that's fine, and that's on track 2. Now, in track 3, don't forget we made it a stereo. If you wanted to make any of these tracks stereo, you just click on this circle here. The circle indicates it's mono. Double click it, or just single click it rather, with your left mouse, and it becomes a stereo track. I'm going to keep it mono though, because then it's picking up the mono channels like the desk mic and the booth mic. All right, so that's fine. And as I say, down here is a stereo track. So what I'm going to do is look at the browse section here on PreSonus Studio Live. PreSonus Studio One software. Now, in the loops section, you'll find a whole host of stuff that you can drag in. All right, absolutely tons of it, and you can audition any of these on here. So let me explain that for you. So this is electronic dance music, so we don't really need that. I want something a bit more mellow just for this demonstration. So we'll go with country for a laugh. I've not done that before, and we'll go with strings. And there's a loop here. Let's have a listen to this in its solo. Can I get a yeehaw? So all I'm going to do is, because it's an audio file, I'm going to drag that in and put it on track 4. Boom. So now, when you go right to the beginning, it sounds like this. No, it doesn't, because I've muted the tracks, haven't I? Go back up here. Unmute the audio track. Careful. And then we play. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. Welcome to YouTube. Wonderful. Now obviously it's a bit long and we're just messing around with his, but you get the idea. So it's a bit melancholy, isn't it? So we'll get rid of that and we'll drag something different in, okay? We won't go with country this time, we'll go with something else. So look, So let's go with some blues, shall we? So blues, I think we need a drum beat, and we go with, let's have an acoustic. Let's have a listen to this. Wow, that's really slow, isn't it? How about Cool Cats? That's quite good, isn't it? And you notice that it's on a loop as well, so we can drag that in and we can make changes to that if we need to. So I'm going to drag the Cool Cats Drum Mix 1 audio loop into track 4, which is our stereo track, don't forget. And so at the beginning this sounds like this is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. Welcome to YouTube. There we go. So as you've noticed there, the drums run out as we get down to that last section there. So if I wanted to extend that, all I do is right click it and click duplicate, and that will literally give me a loop then of that entire section of drums. So if we listen to it in solo, that's where the join is, and it's seamless because it's kept to the same beat of 75 beats per minute. And you'll notice down here that the tempo of the whole project is traditionally and standard. As you open up a new project, it'll automatically default to 120. Okay, now you can change that. You can easily double click on it and change the value. Now we know it's 75 beats a minute, so let's go 75 in there. Click return. So now the whole project is 75 beats per minute. And did you notice what happened over here? The two audio files have separated, because what we've done is because it's a brand new song, whatever tempo changes you make, also make the audio files that you've imported change beat as well. So let's have a listen to that and see how that has changed. All right, it's moved it because obviously the timing has changed. So I'm going to move that now and bring it closer to the bit that we changed earlier on. If you noticed that we duplicated it, didn't we? So it's coming in on beat 3, on bar 3 rather. Okay, so that's pretty accurate, isn't it? If I was out, by the way, it would sound like... You see what I mean? So I'm bringing that closer and then just... And if I had the snap tool on as well, I could, if I could demonstrate that for you. So we're moving it away, but if I wanted to bring it and snap it directly to bar 3, here's what happens. Okay, there's no way I can get it wrong if you have that snap tool on. It will snap to the bar and to the beat. Okay. Now, how about we finish that particular drum beat on a cymbal, if we can find one, okay? Give me 2 seconds, let me have a dig around. Now these are acoustic drums, so we should have somewhere along the line. Oh, there we go, perfect. What's this one? Oh, that's another loop, isn't it? So let's try. Yeah, that works well. So drag that in. Again, it snaps to the... So the drum beat now sounds like... Perfect. So there's tons and tons of things you can do with these fantastic loops, and you know, once you get the library downloaded from PreSonus's website, there are tons and tons. Look at it. You got Daughter, you got Crowish. I don't know what that means. I really don't, but we can audition it and find out if you want. Daughter Blue, Chorus 1 with Crash 1. Let's have a listen. Wow. Okay, so that's a faster drum beat, so that's a different piece of blues music, all right? Fantastic. And it gives you the beats per minute here as well. So, for instance, if you're auditioning that particular piece of music or piece of loop, it tells you it's 132 beats per minute. Now, obviously, that's too fast for what we need on this particular project because it's 75 beats per minute. Do you see that? So we'd have to bring that in, and hopefully it should snap it down to the correct drum beat, to the correct beats per minute. We could try that, by the way, so let's zoom out a bit. Let's just get rid of our crash for a moment or two, and let's import this particular sample and see if it changes. We can hear it like this. It's quite fast, 132 per minute. Right, but if we brought it in here, Does it change? It doesn't go anyway, does it? Let's face it. So, but you can play around with that. And the idea is that when you launch a new song, so for instance, if I save this one for a second, I'm just going to save that. But if I open up a new song, all right, on this dialog box here, okay, stretch audio files to song tempo is what you want ticked if you want those loops to come into a project at the same beats per minute as you'd like. Okay, so for instance, this one's 75 beats per minute. If I wanted all of those loops to come in at that particular beats per minute, I'd have to tick this box, and then it would stretch any audio files, not MIDI but audio files, to the song tempo. Okay, whew, quite a lot to get in, isn't there? But you know what I mean. So I just wanted to show you that. So when you're creating a brand new song, you can change the parameters of that as you drag it in. Okay, so there we go. We'll leave that for now. And this is back to our square one. We'll put our symbol back in there. All right. Let's zoom that in a second. And I'm going to just put that YouTube bit closer to the symbol. Welcome to YouTube. Psh, like that, yeah? So let's unsolo it. And again, if you solo anything, you see that automatically it mutes the other tracks. So you're only listening to that one particular track. So if I unsolo it, so solo safe look. So if I undo that, again, all the tracks are now visible and they are ready to play. Welcome to YouTube. As I say, this is just messing around. If you've just joined us, thank you so much for joining the stream, by the way. This is Love Audio, passionate about production, and our first live stream. If you're looking at the live stream, you want to send us a message, please do so. I do have an opportunity here. Let me have a look here. Let's take a look. So we're looking at YouTube, and it's on. That's brilliant. And then we can go to view, and this will bring in any messages that you might want to send me. Okay, so make sure you give us a shout if you are on a live stream at the moment and you'd like to say hi. We would love to hear from you. Make sure you say hi and tell us where you're from. Tell us what particular software you're using, or maybe you're continuing to do live music with a certain software that you're currently involved with. And if that's the case, let us know what that is. If you're looking at PreSonus, it's a great software. Studio One is the one I would recommend. I've been using it for years now, and it's really, really good. So let's get back to our little project. Make sure you say hi and tell us where you're from. Oh, that's me. I don't know what that came from, but anyway, thank you. So we're back to our project on this side. Let me just reduce that so it doesn't start again. Okay, that's cool. And let's have a look here. All right, go, and let's close that. Yeah, okay. So we're back over here. Welcome to YouTube. I want to do something with this vocal because it's quite flat. It's just, I'm talking through the microphone and it's just below me here. So I wanted to kind of give it a bit of a boost. So let's go to, where are we? Track 2. And if I click on that, there we go. And just put that up a bit. There we go. So all I'm going to do now is go to effects, and PreSonus is good at bringing in a whole load of things that you can use. So we're dealing with vocals. So let's have a look at the drop down menu for mix effects, and we've got a console shaper there, which is fine. We don't really need that just at the moment. We'll go back to effects and effects chains. Okay, so here we go. Favorites, and we go to FX chains. There we go. So we've got a Pro EQ. Let's drop that into the channel number 2 on inserts. Now automatically it brings up this. So let's start tweaking the audio. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. I won't do anything with my voice, but it will do with the playback of the audio. So give me 2 secs. Here we go. Welcome to YouTube. See, that's put a brightness because that was quite low, wasn't it? The mid-range there. So I've just boosted that. Welcome to YouTube, and it's quite low, so I'm going to boost the bass. Welcome to YouTube. Let's put that on low frequency, and we've got a marker here, which is good. Let's give that. Welcome to YouTube. Normally what I do is roll off the bass, so I would do that kind of shape with regards to vocals, okay? But we didn't do that on the way in. But we're doing this now, so we're going to give it a bit of a boost because it's quite flat. Welcome to YouTube. And we'll give it a bit of boost at the top end as well, to make it more kind of crisp, give it more air at the top end. Here we go. Welcome to YouTube. Okay, not too bad. I'm going to leave that like it is for time being, and I just want to give a little bit of, let me think, what do I want here? Let's have a look. Yeah, here we go. So I'd like a little bit of delay on there, so a bit of analog delay. We'll just put that in there as well. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. And I think it could do with some chorus or some slight reverb on there, okay? So again, I don't want to overdo it because we're just demonstrating how you can just drag things in and it really works. The good thing about PreSonus Studio One is that you can literally drag and drop stuff into it, which is fantastic. Now, do we want a chorus or do we want, let's have a look here. A flanger, groove delay, not really. Leveler, limiter, no. Mix verb, yeah, that might work, mightn't it? Let's try that. So I'm going to drag that in there, put it before. Welcome to YouTube. Now that's too kind of, sounds like a toilet, doesn't it? So let's go a bigger room, okay? And let's give the mix down a bit and see how that sounds. Welcome to YouTube. 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 Not particularly happy with that one. Let's have a listen. Hang on. Welcome to YouTube. No, absolutely not. So I'm going to get rid of that, to be fair. So just drop down menu and remove is all you need to do with that, which is fine. Okay, so Pro EQ. Let's edit that. We've got everything there that we need. That's absolutely fine. So there are some presets, by the way. So if you wanted to go to the presets and look at backing vocals, female vocals, male, vocal itself, let's try that. So that's going to sound very different to what we did just now. Welcome to YouTube. Again, it's pretty flat, isn't it? So probably I would go back and we'd adjust that. So let's go with default, which is dead flat, as you can see. Male pop vocal, that's better. Yeah, that's a lot better, more dynamic. So we're going to give it some more bottom end though. Welcome to YouTube. Yeah, okay. Going to drop the mid-range down a little bit. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. Like that. Okay. So we're going to leave that like it is. I'm just going to give it some. Let's open air. What's that? That's a new one. Not seen that before. Let's drag that in. See what happens. So this is called Open Air. Welcome to YouTube. And I have no idea how it works. So let's have a look at some effects. Ambient tails. That sounds quite good. Welcome to YouTube. Quite long, isn't it? Bring the mix down and the length. Welcome to YouTube. Wow. Okay, so that's got a very, very long tail on it, okay? And there are some drop downs that you can have a look at here. Let's have a look. So Canyon, Choir Hall, Concert Wave, all sorts of stuff. Crass Room, Crazy Phasey. Let's have a listen to that, just for a giggle. Okay. Welcome to YouTube. It's okay. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. You're going to be sick of that, aren't you, by the end of this particular show? Welcome to YouTube. Yeah, that'll do. I'm going to leave that like it is. As I say, I don't want to spend too much time messing around. This was really just an introduction, really, to the software itself and to let you know that there's plenty of stuff that you can do with this. And we haven't even scratched the surface. So, do bear with us. There'll be plenty more videos like this once a week at 6 p.m. UK time. If you have joined, please do say hello, won't you? Would love to hear from you. Please do drop a line in the message box just below the video here and say hi. Tell us where you're from. If you're new to the channel, again, would love to hear from you. Drop us a comment there and I'll give you a shout out during the show. Okay, so we go back up to the top and rewind that. The good thing about using the Studio Live 32SC desk, by the way, is that I can control the transport. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. I think there's some audio missing there, isn't there? Because we kind of deleted it. Yeah, there is. Let's have a listen to that. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. PreSonus Studio One. A good thing we can do here, look, if we just drag this over. PreSonus Studio One. Yeah, you know, so whatever you drag onto the track that's got this effect on it will automatically transform that particular piece of audio into something with that effect on it as well, okay? So just be aware of that when you're dragging stuff. So if I solo that, for instance, PreSonus Studio One. All right, it's the same as that. Welcome to YouTube. Same as that, yeah? So just bear that in mind. Okay, unsolo that, and we'll go back to the beginning. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. Welcome to YouTube. Just messing around, and you know, the idea of the channel really is about making jingles and things, very short, sharp songs for radio stations and for products. So that would be a very short, you know, 7-bar jingle with a cymbal crash on the end of it, but it's really, really basic, and it's not meant to be commercially available. We're just kind of demonstrating things at the moment. So let's get some music now on this track 3 to match the drum beat, shall we? So we'll go back into our loops, and we know that we're dealing with blues, and we know it's got to be 75 beats per minute. So we're in drums at the moment, so let's get out of that. What we'd like is, I think, some strings. Or should we do piano or woodwind? What do you reckon? Brass? Let's have a look. See what this sounds like. This is a flute, actually. This would be quite nice. Wow. You can really hear everything in there, can't you? Let's hear the second one. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You can hear every single breath of the flautist, can't you? Hang on. This is testing. Hang on. This is testing. I don't know that one. It makes me laugh. I can hear every single breath. Amazing stuff. All right, let's go with this one and put it about here. Studio One. Welcome to YouTube. Does that end? Yeah. What I'm going to do here is drag this onto the end. Welcome to YouTube. All right, but I'm going to edit it. Let's dive in a bit closer here. So I'm going to use the editing tool because I love that end bit after the cymbal crash, but I don't want anything else in there on that particular track. So I'm going to do that. You know, these are non-destructive. So whatever you change isn't going to change the loop itself. You can drag it in and it'll still be whole, okay? Just going to get rid of it for our project. So have a listen. Welcome to YouTube. Yeah, but I want some tail on there as well. Let's have a look here. So what I'd like to do is let's drag that along. Where else does it come in? There. Okay, see that? So I can reveal the whole thing if I wanted to. But I don't, because there's lots of breaths and stuff in there which I don't need. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. But it ends very abruptly. Do you hear that? So I'm going to bring it over just until he starts his next note, and I'm going to fade by dragging that corner. You see how I did that? So if we zoom in, you can see that each of the audio files has got a corner on it, and all you do is literally drag that over according to what kind of fade you'd like on it. All right, so I'm going to do that. You can also adjust the fade like that. If you wanted a concave one or convex, whichever. I kind of like it like that, so that's fine. Have a listen. We can still hear a breath there, so let's bring it in slightly. Let's undo the snap to grid because I want a bit more flexibility. So I'm going to drag that into there. Okay. Move that out slightly. Just a little bit. You can just hear his breath, can't you? Let's make it a bit sharper. Hang on. Let's do that. Yeah, there's a little bit of something going on. Maybe a bit of spit or a bit of breath or something. Still there, isn't it? Yeah, okay. That kind of works. All right, so we've now got some flute in there. Studio 1. Now you notice that that doesn't actually come in. Let's snap this again. So this doesn't come in until there. So I'm going to chop that and then get rid of that silent bit because I think we can drag another piece of music in there somewhere from the flautist. Okay, so have a listen. Studio 1. Okay, it's a bit long to be honest. Let's have a look, see what else we've got. We can always edit it, of course. Drag that in. It's too long, so let's put it here. And we only want what do we want here? 2.5. That's 2.5 bars, isn't it? So 3 bars. So let's go 7. It's 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars. So what we need to do is to chop it right where that is, and we should be okay with that space. Let's just have a look. Drag that in. It's still too slightly long. It's long by 1. Hang on, let's have a listen to it in solo. Yeah, let's start it from there, and then get rid of that first tootle at the front there. Okay, so we put that in there. It's slightly overlapping, but I can drag that in, you see, and then there, where that joins the other one, I can right-click on it and go to Audio, and then go to Create Crossfades. Okay, so where those two join, there'll now be a crossfade. Studio 1. So you don't notice any of the joins. So let's listen to it in solo. Slight change in note, obviously. And then back to the beginning again, of course. So, all right, so let's undo that. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio 1. Welcome to YouTube. As I say, we're just messing around today. We're just getting the basics of PreSonus Studio 1 and also using the Studio Live 32SC desk from PreSonus. But I hope that gives you kind of an insight into how you can drag and drop loops into your project and create a song very, very simply. I'm not a musician, trust me. So I don't know how to play. I play by ear. I've got a keyboard there to put the audio into if I need to. But yeah, it's a fantastic software, and it's got plenty of instruments as well, by the way. So if we, for instance, very quickly, let's bring another track here. We're going to add an instrument track like that. So it's on track 5. Now, currently we don't have an instrument in there, so let's drag one in. And again, it's very drag and drop with PreSonus. They've got it absolutely right. So Presence is their big synthesizer, and now it's got a whole load of drop-down menus here. So if you wanted a synth, for instance, we can drag that in. So let's go with some bass, and we'll drag that into there. You watch. That should happen, which it doesn't. Hang on. Now maybe we have to drag this in first. Let's go with that into there. Okay, perfect. So we're looking at basses. So we go to default, we go to bass. Let's go to a 6-string bass, full. And now if we play any of these keys, starts there. You see where that C1 is? All those ones below that in red are non-playable. There's nothing going on down there. So we use the first one here. And it's a 6-string bass. So obviously guitar. What we need is synth. So let's go with synth session here. Excuse me. And we'll go with bass for the synth. And let's go with a bootsy bass. So this sounds like... Now, if I had the keyboard plugged in, you'd be able to hear that, obviously no problem at all. But we'll leave it like that. And if you want to record something into there, and this is going to sound ever so messy, so it's not meant to be brilliant, by the way. So we go to record, okay? We go to edit. Just click on the machine there, that's right. So if we click on record, but I want to count in of 2 bars. So we go to this one here, the metronome. And I want us to count in, and it wants to be a pre-roll of 2 bars, okay? I need to turn that off, don't I? Let's turn that off. Silence. Ufedo, thank you very much for joining us. Ufedo's in the house, learning all about music and editing and software and things like that. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's do that. I want to click it in play, so that's cool. And if we press record, this is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. Welcome to YouTube. Right, that's just playing that randomly. But you get the idea. So what we need to do is to set up this as a... some more drums down there, track 4. So this is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. Okay, so let's try that again, and I want to make sure that that pre-roll comes in this time. So let's go to here, pre-roll, and pre-count. Yeah, pre-count, I think. And go to here, pre-count. 2 bars. So it's going to click, 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 and then it should start. Okay, that's the idea. Let's try again. I want to get that instrument up on the screen though. There we go. And we move that over there, and we're just going to play it. So let's have a listen to that. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. Welcome to YouTube. And it hasn't recorded for some reason. Okay. You know, these things are meant to try us. It was supposed to be in there, and I know why. It's my fault entirely. I need to create an event. So let me get the pencil tool. Okay. What did I hear today on a video today? I heard something about learning. We're always learning, aren't we? That's the point. But here you see what you do is you draw in enough of these so that you've got something in the background ready. Okay. Then we go back to the beginning. And we click on that. And we click on the instrument again so we can play it. And we click on record. Down here it's counting me inlet. Here we go. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. Welcome to YouTube. And it's still not recorded. Well, you know, you get the idea. So we played it, but it didn't record for some bizarre reason. Why is that not recording? That's really odd. Presence, yeah, I've got that done. That's fine. That was on listen, so we know we can play it because we can hear it, right? Okay. That does away with the keyboard. Let's go to presence. That's fine. There's obviously something I'm not pressing to make this come up, okay? And it's entirely my fault, not yours. All inputs. Right, here we go. So we haven't got the master key plugged in, but we've got it on all inputs, which is fine. Let's try none. Still not coming in, is it? Okay. All inputs. All right. Record. What are we not doing? Dee 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 dee. Okay, nice. Anyway, you get the idea. That should have recorded, but it didn't. So that's entirely something that I'm not doing to bring that that MIDI in. If you've got any ideas, do give me a shout in the comments, won't you? Because that should be in there. That should be now playing an instrument and recording a MIDI track for us. Let's have a look here. Okay, let's get rid of that particular thing, and I think we can go to files, loops. Okay, and what we'd like to go with is, let's see if there's any MIDI tracks in here. Bass loop, that's going to be an audio loop, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I like that, it's good, isn't it? That's drums. Let's go with brass note, bass. Okay. Okay. Effects, instruments, we've already got that, haven't we? Which is cool. Pool. Audio. Okay. So, on this particular section over here in the browser window, you can see we've got instruments. As we said before, the presence is the keyboard that we're using, or the instrument that we're using, the synthesizer. You've got effects there, of course, which we dragged in earlier. You've got those loops that we were playing. You've got files as well, which you can select any of the songs that you've already done, bring them in. That's to connect directly to SoundCloud and the PreSonus Exchange, which is a community where you can share your various bits and pieces. I haven't signed into that, but it's something I might do in the future, certainly. Obviously, PreSonus Shop. And then you've got the pool. Now, the pool is whatever you've created in audio comes up here, and you can audition. See, so anything in this loop. So don't forget we had some audio in here as well. Listen to that. This is testing the desk microphone through the software. See that? This is testing the... Yeah, shh. And then we've got this one, of course. Welcome to YouTube. And they're raw items. So they've not been touched by any of the effects or anything like that, which is pretty cool. Crazy phasey. Interesting. So then you've got the drums in there as well. I think that's probably... Yeah, that's the cymbal crash, isn't it? Do you remember that? Pretty cool, isn't it? So you can rewind that and play it again. So that's a good way of looking at anything that you've currently got in your project that you just want to audition or maybe drag in again. If you've lost it somewhere, you want to bring in another sample of it, you can do, of course, which is pretty cool as well. So I think that's pretty much it. That's really just the basics of creating a song from scratch. We were just messing around. I need to find out why that MIDI isn't recording. I feel really daft about that, but these things are set to try us, aren't they? So, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on today's first stream. What are we now? It's been 45 minutes, and I'm sure you've had enough of my voice going on. But let's just play that from the start. Again, in that particular project. This is testing the desk microphone through the software PreSonus Studio One. Welcome to YouTube. And you've got the click track playing as well, which is the metronome down there. Let's turn that off. There we go. So yeah, it's PreSonus Studio One, and I hope you enjoyed that little small tutorial, and believe me, we have not even scratched the surface yet on everything that this software can do. We will, of course, jump into much more in detail in the weeks to come. But thank you so much for joining me. Do hope you've enjoyed today's stream. If you have, please do leave a comment. Would love to hear from you. And yeah, see you on the next one. And hope you've really enjoyed today, as I say. And join us on the next one. It's going to be 6 o'clock UK time. So set your watches, your clocks, and everything else. And like I say, we hope to see you on the next one. All right. So whatever you're up to, make sure you stay safe. Look after each other, won't you? Yeah, you better do. Or I'll hear about it, won't I? Let's face it. Yeah, just really. The idea is that this is meant for those that want to come on board, take a look at PreSonus Studio One as a bit of software. Of course, we're using the desk as well. If you want to know more about that, we'll dive more into that and get some overhead shots as well of the mixer next time round. But as I say, thank you so much for joining me, and join you on the next one. Thank you.